What was touted as the Big 12 matchup of the year didn't live up to expectations, but not because of your Red Raiders. Texas Tech goes out to Salt Lake City and dominates the number 16 Utah Utes by a score of 34-10. In today's video, we'll discuss how this Texas Tech defense is arguably a top 5 unit in all of college football and how the Red Raider offense, they've got a major question on their hands moving forward. Welcome into the Red and Black Report. How's it going, everybody? My goodness. Every day is a great day to be a Red Raider. But damn it, some days are more special than others. And this one right here is definitely special. If you were excited about what Texas Tech just did to the Utah Utes, I would say belt to you know what. But I think that's disrespectful to the belt and your behind. Because they did way more than that. This Texas Tech team is all kinds of legit, and they are clearly the best team in the Big 12. And if that has you excited, all I'm going to ask you to do, simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. Before we do anything else, hand up for accountability. You know what this is on this channel. If I'm ever wrong, I will admit it. And I was wrong. I picked Utah to win this football game. And truth be told, the main reason was, and I talked about it, and it's no excuse, but I'll lay it out for you guys. I was scarred by previous years of Texas Tech football. This team's different. I'm done with it. Everything that my Red Raider mind has developed over the last 10 plus years of being a Texas Tech fan, throw it out the damn window. This team is different. This team will be favorited in every game moving forward. And if they're not, I'm not giving you legal advice, or, well, I should say betting advice, but you know what I mean. This team is unbelievable, and it starts up front on the defensive line. Let's go ahead and look at the box score on this one. As you can see, 34-10. If I hear any Utah fans in my comment section, or you see any on Twitter saying, oh, Texas Tech didn't dominate this game, bullshit. The Red Raiders absolutely dominated this game. The only real reason Utah was even remotely close in this matchup was penalties. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. The big news, though, in this one is the fact that Behren Morton was unable to finish this game, but Will Hammond came in and showed he is a bona fide superstar. 13 of 16, 169 yards passing, 2 TDs, 61 on the ground. Will Hammond is a bona fide star, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to have some conversations here on the channel moving forward, not by saying that Behren Morton doesn't deserve to be in the conversation for QB1, but I think we have to have a conversation of who gives Texas Tech more avenues to win games, okay? That's the conversation we're going to have later on. I mean, this was phenomenal. I thought Behren Morton actually played pretty well. That first interception to where he underthrew Caleb Payday Douglas, and I might add the Utah defender made a sensational play coming in and making sure that he was in bounds. The second interception for Behren Morton, I thought that was on Coy Aiken. Coy Aiken has to win that football. It was underthrown by design. That's where you want to put that ball if you're Behren Morton. And simple and plain, Coy Aiken has to be stronger at the point of attack and win that battle, period. Nonetheless, we digress. The big thing in this one, coming into it, in terms of the matchup, right? The matchup that was touted as, well, this game being touted as the game of the year in the Big 12, but maybe the matchup of the year in the Big 12 was that of the Utah offensive line against the Texas Tech defensive line. And listen, the Red Raiders, they did not get a ton of sacks in this game. They did not have a ton of tackles for losses in this game. The thing that Texas Tech did in this game from a defensive line standpoint was they dominated the offensive line and dictated where they were going. And that was pivotal in the run game. Utah was talking all this mess. You saw it on social media. I mean, shit. Even their running back was talking crap on social media before this game, saying, oh, hey, we're going to run all over them or something to that effect since, well, that's what he did at Washington State. I hate to break it to you, bud. You're not at Washington State anymore. You're not at the Pac-12 anymore. This is big boy, Big 12 football, and Utah has still yet to do anything in this conference. Texas Tech absolutely went out and manhandled, bullied, dominate, whatever you want to put in there, Utah. And this is an offensive line that has 2 first-round picks on it, okay? David Bailey, congratulations, my friend. You just made a bag today. Lee Hunter, congratulations, my friend. You just made a bag today. Skylar Gill-Howard, congratulations, my friend. You made a bag today, and certainly not least, Romello Height. I thought Romello Height was arguably the best defensive lineman for the Red Raiders today. He was awesome, okay? And you had multiple turnovers, 4 to be exact, multiple Peanut Tillman punch-outs, one by Ben Roberts, one by Jacob Rodriguez. The biggest thing for me, outside of, well, the offensive line being concerned, and we'll talk about them here in a minute, was the secondary coming into this game. I apologize. I was unfamiliar with y'all's work. I think Red Raider Nation undersold y'all as well. This Texas Tech defense is elite from the front 4, the 3 linebackers, and the back 4 or 5, depending on how you want to go about it. This defense is elite. This is a defensive first team. Think about the last time you were able to actually say that and truly mean it when you were a Red Raider fan. I don't know the last time it happened. I mean, shoot, I started at Texas Tech in 2014. I'm not acting like I know everything about the Red Raiders. But I mean, I don't know the last time Texas Tech had a defensive first team. Was it the 90s? This is a defensive first team, and they are elite. This is a top 5 unit in all of college football, okay? They have allowed, in the 10 quarters they have played, because remember, they've only played, well, the first halves of the first 3 games. They finally played the whole game this time. They've only allowed 10 points in 10 quarters. They are allowing 1 point per quarter. This Texas Tech defense is elite. There is not a single offensive line in the Big 12 that can compete with it in terms of the defensive line. If Utah can't do it, nobody else can, because that's the best offensive line you're going to face all year if you're the Red Raiders. And you manhandled them. You took them to school, okay? Devin Dampier, God bless him, man. You're going to be seeing Ghost probably for the next 2 weeks with how absolutely insane Shield Wood was in terms of just making Devin Dampier's life miserable. Okay, the times that they did allow him to get out of the pocket, Bryce Pollock just went up and got a pick, right? That was the biggest thing Texas Tech did in this game. We talked about it ad nauseum here on the channel, and it's a great reason why you should like and subscribe to the channel, because we're breaking down games before they happen 100% free. I said before this game that it was going to be dictated in the trenches. Texas Tech obviously won that, but the reason they won it was not because they got after Devin Dampier. They stayed in the rush lanes. Okay, they made him a pocket passer, and simple and plain, he's not a good passer. Okay, he's just not. You're not at New Mexico anymore, my guy. You are playing big boy football in the Big 12, and he had no idea what the hell to do. Okay, if he had any iota of a clue what to do when he actually did get time to throw, the Texas Tech secondary made him confused as hell. Okay, you won in terms of passing the ball. You outrushed Utah. Utah looked pedestrian in a place that they simply do not lose. Okay, Texas Tech went in and manhandled Utah when Utah is the team that manhandles teams historically. Texas Tech beat Utah at their own game. Okay, this Red Raider offense was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You have to clean up the penalties. You have to. 14 for 122 is inexcusable. Okay, it just is. Specifically the false starts. I understand it was loud, and I can even understand maybe 2, but there were way more than 2, and it set Texas Tech back. But again, your defense was the reason you won this football game, and your defense is going to be the reason you win games moving forward. Now, that's not to say that your offense is bad. It's not. I still think your offense is pretty damn good too. This Texas Tech team is the best team in the Big 12, and in my opinion, it's not particularly close. It was Texas Tech and Utah coming into this week who was the best. And Texas Tech just did that on the road in a place that I keep saying it's very difficult to win out there, right? And I understand last year was last year for Utah. They struggled. They had an injured quarterback. It is what it is. Historically, they do not lose in Salt Lake City. You went out there, you beat them at their own game, and you did so in a dominant fashion. This game did not feel this close, really, right? You dominated them in the trenches. You dominated them in the run game. You dominated them in the pass game. You confused the hell out of them, both on the offensive side of the ball. Mac Leftwich, I thought, was sensational today, outside of the beginning of the game where I thought he should have ran more, but he got there, right? And then I got to give credit. I was knocking them on the false starts. The Texas Tech offensive line I thought was sensational in the second half. Now, a lot of that was Will Hammond, I thought, too, in the sense of I talked about avenues to success, right, for Texas Tech at the quarterback position. I could argue that Will Hammond allows Texas Tech more ways to win, okay? That being said, Baron Morton has already been called the starter by Joey McGuire if he's healthy. I get it 100%. There's going to have to be some conversations, though, and they're not going to be easy ones. That being said, do I expect Will Hammond to start over Baron Morton if Baron Morton's healthy? I don't. But I do think there is a real conversation to be had that Will Hammond gives Texas Tech more avenues to succeed offensively, because you saw what he did in that Mac Leftwich offense. He was prepared with 35 to 40 family members from Utah out there to come and see him, right? And, I mean, he was a true difference maker, man. He made a couple of throws where I was like, all right, it doesn't matter if it's this year or next year, Texas Tech's got them one. And we knew that, but it's really fun to see it in that kind of environment. Also, before we head out of here, shout out to Duda Banks. He became a dad this morning, according to Joey McGuire. Did not play in this game because he became a father. So shout out to Duda Banks. Congratulations to him and the missus on the new child. Hope everything is well with the missus and the child, and hope you're happy as well, Duda. Congratulations on fatherhood. But from a Texas Tech football standpoint, your Texas Tech Red Raiders, they're the clear best team in the Big 12. They are the class of the Big 12, and it's not particularly close. This could be a historic season, Red Raider Nation. Buckle up. You're gonna want to stay in the know on everything, and this is the place to do so. So be sure to like the video and hit that damn subscribe button if you're excited about what this season could be. One game at a time, no doubt about it. You head into a bye week, much needed according to Joey McGuire, because some guys have some football bruises, which they're playing football. That makes sense. But the Red Raiders are the class of the Big 12, and everyone is going to be trying to come after them, whether it's Arizona State, Baylor, TCU, right? There's multiple other teams as well. But there's one thing for certain right now in the Big 12. The Red Raiders are the class of the league and have the best chance to win the Big 12 title in Arlington and represent the Big 12 in the college football playoff. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. What a great day to be a Red Raider. It's always a great day to be a Red Raider, but like I said, some are better than others, and this one's definitely better than others. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, y'all know what to do, because I'm going to remind you. I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, stay safe and wreck 'em Tech, damn it.